From famous actresses to German explosives, here are the craziest things found in backyards. Number 9. In 2014, in Egypt, a young man named Nagy was digging in his backyard when he uncovered several huge stone blocks. What he had unearthed was the outside of a corridor 30 feet below ground. This Nagy guy must really dig digging. 30 feet is crazy deep. Nagy contacted Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities about his discovery. An archaeologist, who was disappointingly not Indiana Jones, came out and realized that by pure luck, Nagy had discovered the legendary causeway to the Pyramid of Khufu, the oldest and largest of the 3 Giza Pyramids. The Pyramid of Khufu was built for the Egyptian pharaoh by the name of Khufu in approximately 2550 BC. Some old guy back in the 5th century named Herodotus had written about visiting the ancient causeway, and archaeologists had been searching for that corridor for decades. The tunnel stretches for nearly a mile underground, and now Nagy has his own VIP entrance to the Pyramid of Khufu. And if he's lucky, he'll run into Lara, Croft, and Brendan Frasier in no time. Number 8. Back in 1996, in Glendale, California, a local resident was starting up his day by heading out to the backyard to water his plants. And what he found was the most super surprise of his life. The actress Margot Kidder was hiding in his bushes, visibly distressed and disheveled. Kidder is most well known for her role as Lois Lane in the Superman movies from the 70s and 80s. She knocked it out of the park with her fun, sassy, and strong interpretation of Lois Lane. Far superior than the vapid, damsel in distress, exposition machine version of the character that we got in the Zack Snyder films. So this guy hasn't even had his coffee yet, and there's Lois Lane in his backyard screaming at him that she's being followed. The very last thing you want to do is upset Superman. So this guy wisely calls the authorities, who came and took her to Olive View Medical Center for psychiatric evaluation. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell button to get notified of new videos, and we always appreciate a big thumbs up. Number 7. In Denmark in 2017, a 14-year-old boy named Daniel Rom Christensen needed a good subject for his school report on World War II. Daniel's great-grandfather had always claimed that a German Messerschmitt plane had crashed in the field behind their house towards the end of 1944. So his dad jokingly suggested that he go dig around in the field to see if he could find any traces of the unsubstantiated aircraft. Because the Danes have a horrible sense of humor, Daniel didn't understand his dad's sarcasm and went out with a metal detector and a shovel. Now, the great-grandfather had always maintained that the plane had crashed in the field, but that the wreckage had been removed shortly thereafter. But when Daniel started scanning the field, his metal detector went off over a patch of boggy ground. After hours of excavating, the plane's frame began to reveal itself. Daniel uncovered the engine, munitions, personal items like books and wallets, and the bones of a crew member who died in the crash. Daniel contacted the Danish authorities about the find and blew everyone's nips off at school with his authentic project submission. Number 6. When Kiss came up with their iconic song, Detroit Rock City, they probably weren't thinking of fossils. But turns out the area in and around Detroit is a hotbed for archaeological activity. In 2012, two 11-year-old cousins, Eric Stamatin and Andrew Ganaru, were building a dam in the creek that flows through Eric's backyard. They found what at first they thought was an oddly shaped rock. Turns out it was a 14,000-year-old axis bone of an extinct American mastodon. The axis bone is one of 2 specialized vertebrae that secure the head to the vertebral column, and judging by the size of the fossil, geologist John Zawiski estimates that the bone came from an adult mastodon that weighed roughly 6 tons. Eric brought the fossil into school for show and tell, and all the kids were super impressed. But then his mom, Christina Stamatin, totally threw him under the bus and told reporters that, quote, "This has been a wonderful experience. He's been really struggling in school, and this has helped him with his self-confidence. End quote. Completely putting Eric on blast for the whole world and his schoolmates. Super embarrassing. Now Eric is stuck again, only able to hang out with his cousin. Number 5. In November of 2011, Vincent Marcello, resident of New Orleans, decided to install a swimming pool on his property in the French Quarter of the city. He only got 4 feet down when his shovel struck wood. What he found was the first of what turned out to be 15 coffins. Each one weighed over 600 pounds, and some were waterlogged because they were buried underneath the water table. He called a local archaeologist who brought a team down to the site. Identifying the departed by name was virtually impossible because a massive fire in 1788 destroyed church records and city records. All the remains had to be carefully removed and transported to a second final destination. After riling up the spirits of ancient Cajuns, Vincent now has the most haunted pool in all of New Orleans. Number 4. In 2013, a young Northern Californian couple was walking with their dog in their several-acre-large backyard when they spotted what looked like a rusted can that was barely emerging from their hillside. According to their interview, it was just off the path that they had been walking down for years. They started digging and found 7 similar objects in the same area. The couple took the finds home and opened them up in their kitchen, and what they found blew their minds. 1,411 gold coins that were minted between 1847 and 1894. All in all, the collection is worth $10 million in today's market. Most of the coins are $20 gold pieces known as double eagles that were minted in San Francisco during the Californian Gold Rush. The identity of the couple and their location is being kept secret at their request. The find has been dubbed the Saddle Ridge Hoard, and this young couple went 0 to 10 million real quick. Number 3. Owen Johnson was inspecting a hole that was dug by builders in his English garden back in 2012 when he noticed a clay pot hidden in the earth. He tried to dig it out, but it cracked open, and to his delight, gold and silver coins spilled out like a slot machine. Owen had discovered nearly 600 coins from the mid-17th century, as well as a ring that featured the inscription, "When you see this, remember me." It's believed that this pot was likely buried during the English Civil War because Owen's property is located near a royalist stronghold from that period. The theory is that the loot was stashed by a royalist who feared that it would be stolen by the rebels. But that guy was probably killed by the rebels, and the pot was lost to history until Owen's ridiculously lucky garden dig uncovered it. Now he's sitting pretty on his fortunate haul. Number 2. Julianne Taylor didn't think much of it when her little boy Toby came running into the kitchen screaming that there was a cheetah in their backyard. After all, kids are dumb, and he was probably just confused. But Julianne was thunderstruck when she looked out the window and saw a 3-year-old, 66-pound cheetah ripping apart her bicycle that was lying in the backyard. The cheetah had escaped from a nearby animal sanctuary and found its way to their home. Julie called the authorities, who promptly arrived and removed the cheetah. The young boy Toby told reporters that he has since had nightmares over the incident. What a wuss! Total sissy. Number 1. Back in 2014, in Willoughby, Australia, homeowner Steve Chippendale, I did not make that up. His last name is Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That show was the best. So this gumshoe Steve was rooting around in his backyard trying to level his garden when he got the fright of his life. His shovel struck metal, and when he moved the dirt out of the way, he was staring at an undetonated World War II bomb. After he had a small explosion in his pants, Steve reported the find to the Australian authorities. The Australian Defence Force, which is just a surfer dude and his wisecracking koala sidekick, came to the scene and removed the explosive. The Australian Department of Defense spokesman, a crocodile wearing sunglasses, said the remaining bombshells were disposed of safely at an undisclosed time and place. Relieved that the threat had passed, everybody in the neighborhood got together to eat Vegemite and start a fight with a gang of kangaroos. Just your regular run-of-the-mill Australian afternoon. Friends, thanks for watching. What's the craziest thing you found in your backyard? Be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. See you next time.